Thank you very much, Stephen. Good afternoon. We start here this afternoon. South Africa has signed 2 memoranda of understanding with China to help fast-track the industrialization of South Africa's economy. Our business reporter Ntokozo Khumalo caught up with the Minister of Department of Trade, Industry and Competition, Ebrahim Patel.
The Department of Trade, Industry and Competition has signed a memorandum of understanding with the China-Africa Development Fund with about 10 billion rand to be made available to fast-track the industrialization of South Africa's economy, particularly manufacturing. And for a little bit more detail on that, we are now joined by Minister Ebrahim Patel. Thank you so much for your time. We saw the first signing this morning. Talk us through these MOUs with the China-Africa Development Fund and how it will help fast-track the industrialization of the economy.
Over the last few years, we've been deepening the level of integration of our manufacturing sector into the mineral value chain. So critically for South Africa is to industrialize more, to manufacture more, and to trade more with the rest of the world in manufactured goods. I recently hosted a meeting with my Chinese counterpart, Minister Wang, and we analyzed the flow of goods between China and South Africa. The good news is that South Africa exports an enormous quantity of goods. China is our largest trading partner, and we run a trade surplus with China. However, when we analyze the composition of that trade, what we sell and what we buy, South Africa still exports too much raw material and imports too many items of manufactured products for consumers and capital goods. Now that's important for our economy, because when you export raw materials only, the ability to extract value, create jobs for young people and boost innovation in the economy is limited. High-level and advanced manufacturing brings enormous benefits to economies. The complexity of manufacturing crowds in a number of other support productive services. But also it helps to establish and expand the technology base of a country. So if we want to change the trade relationship with China and with India, Brazil and Russia, part of it is for South Africa to invest more actively in its manufacturing base. And so we look for partners. The MOUs that we signed today, one was signed by the Industrial Development Corporation with the Chinese counterpart, and the other one by the DTIC with the China-Africa Development Fund. They're about accessing resources. These are not grants. These are investment and co-investment facilities, because the Chinese recognize that Africa's growth potential is vast, and so they want to be part of the growth story. And we say to them, be part of that growth story by helping Africa to industrialize. And that is what the Memorandum of Understanding is about. They're bringing our financial institutions closer together. They're opening up the opportunities to identify real projects that we can co-invest in. And that, I think, as we roll more of that out, it will help us to strengthen and to deepen our industrialization efforts.
Minister, thank you so much for talking to us. Of course, that's Minister Ebrahim Patel, who is the Minister with the DTIC, just talking us through those memorandum of understanding that was signed by the DTIC as well as the IDC. And of course, the aim of those funds is to really industrialize the South African economy, not only for the benefits of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, but also to really solidify the country's position in the BRICS bloc, saying that the Chinese realize Africa's growth potential and want to be part of that growth story. So we will obviously give those details on how businesses in the sector can actually access those funds to be able to scale their businesses. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Ntokozo Khumalo in Midrand.